मैं तुम्हारे लिए कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ। आई कैन डू एनीथिंग फॉर यू। मैं तुम्हारे लिए जान भी दे सकता हूँ। आई कैन इवन डाई फॉर यू। यहाँ पर मेरी कंडीशन एकदम स्पेसिफिक है, प्रिसाइज है, क्लियर है, मेजरेबल है, बिकॉज आई नो फुली एंड वेल दैट आई एम डूइंग समथिंग फॉर समवन, राइट? बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू द व्हाइल लूप, जब तक ये होगा तब तक ये करते रहेंगे, जब तक ये नहीं होगा ये करेंगे। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब तक तुम नहीं मिलोगे तब तक हम शादी नहीं करेंगे, लेट्स से। तो हो सकता है इस जन्म में आप मिलो ही ना, तो सामने वाला बंदा शादी ही ना करे। So now coming back to the lecture, what I'm trying to say, when we have clear cut understanding of number of iterations that we are going to run, we are going to make use of for loop. And when based on certain conditions we are not sure that how much time or till how many iterations we are going to run a particular loop, in that particular case we can make use of for loop. As mentioned over here, we can make use of for loop when we are fully sure about number of times we need to run a scenario. Like for example, if we need to print this particular star pattern, we know that there are 5 different rows, and with each row we have to print this star like one time. The second row we have to print 2 times, third row we have to print 3 times. So our conditions and our the basics and specifics are totally clear, that what we need to do and how many loops will be required over here. So in this particular case, that this loop needs to be run for 5 times, we are totally clear and we are totally sure about it. But in case of while loop is basically like, I will go to church. Let's say if Veronica starts to like me, what if Veronica takes at least next 10 years in order to like someone, right? Then will I go to church or not, or will I keep on going to the church? So this is a case of little bit of uncertainty. I know I'm taking a very uh, layman example. Let's try to understand it in a more technical way in JavaScript. So welcome you all to my lecture, and now let's try to print this particular star pattern, right? So how to do that in JavaScript? I have already given lecture in my Java tutorials, but let's start for the one more time. Let's say let uh, I equals 1, I less than equals 5, and I plus plus. Okay, now I will be making use of one more loop. Let's say for j equals 1, j is less than equal to I colon j plus plus. So what is going over here, what is happening over here, let me explain you. So allow me to take a particular variable. Let's say let star equals uh, this particular star, because we need to print it. So in the first row we will be printing this star only one time. So 1 is less than equal to 1, I am going to print it. Okay, so this is how we are going to do, right? So let's take it in, because I need to add it. Let me take it like an empty kind of string, and now star equals star plus this asterisk. Okay, so what will happen, uh, let me put the code over here. So now after this happens, we are going to print it out, console.log. So in console.log I am going to print star over here. So what we are going to do over here, for when I is 1, right? So j is less than equal to 1. We want to print star only one time over here onto the first line. So star equals nothing plus 1. Okay. Then I is equal to 2. Then 1 is less than equal to 2. First time again it will print 1. Okay. Then 2 is less than equal to 2. Again it will print this that got printed earlier plus another star in front of it. Okay, since we are not using SOPL or SOP kind of stuff like we used to do in Java, so this is how a little bit the concept is modified over here. So allow me to clear the screen. Now allow me to run this particular stuff. Allow me to save it first. So we have printed a star pattern over here. Why? Because, and why we have made use of for loop, because we are crystal clear, okay, that Onto the first row, we want to print only one asterisk. Onto the second row, we want to print this asterisk plus this asterisk. Onto the third row, for the three times, based upon the condition, we are going to print three times. So we are totally clear over here about our requirement, and for whom and for what we are going to do over here. So based upon that, logic is written over here, right? But in case of while loop is quite uncertain. Uncertain basically means it's not the correct word that I'm making use of. But see, while loop is like, while uh, let's say, let uh, name, let I equals 5, right? So while I is greater than 4, or let's say while I is greater than, let's say, 2, so I is greater than 2 over here, so the condition is correct over here. So what is going to happen, sorry, console dot log, I am going to print something. I will go to church. Let's say I will make you understand what I am typing over here. I will make the concept again crystal clear. Okay, so these are the two loops with the help of we have achieved something. First, we have printed the star pattern over here with the help of for loop, because we are crystal clear about our requirement. There are 5 rows, so a loop will be run 5 times, and every time we need to print the asterisk sign based upon the row. So we are doing it that when the row was first, we printed first asterisk first time, then we printed second time asterisk 2 times, right? So we were clear about it. But over here, while I let I equals to 5, let's say, okay, so condition is true. Based on a certain condition, we try to do something in while loop till some time. So I is greater than 2. Yes, 5 is greater than 2. So let's see what happens over here. If I try to run it, this loop basically goes into infinity. In the starting, as I told you over here, is that I will go to church if someone starts to like me. And over here, let's say someone has started liking me, so I am going to church, but I don't know till how many years I will go to church, right? So in these kind of situations, based upon your requirement, in order to stop the execution, you can hit Control C in JavaScript in the terminal, so it will get stopped. Okay, so based upon your requirement, you can analyze the conditions, requirements, and based upon that, a certain logic can be built. So just an heads up over here, again I'm reiterating, uh, best use case of using a for loop would be when we are sure that how many iterations we need to run a scenario. But in case of while loop, based on a condition, if you want to run something in these kind of scenarios, you can basically go for a while loop, right? And this is how we can make use of JavaScript language, and we can create some programs as well. And based upon the conditions, we can also add some conditions as well over here, like let's say if I is equals to 2, let's say if I equals to 2, then you can print something. So these are a conditional conditions that we can also give inside a particular loop as well. Condition satisfied, your condition is met over here. If I equals to 2, it should print condition is met over here. If you want, I can give you the demo as well. Okay, again it got into the particular loop. uh, Let me delete it. I'll let you know how to get out of that loop. That is also possible over here, but first try to understand the condition is met over here. So these are some conditions that we can meet upon, right? And we can also add some more conditions, like if I equals to 2, and let's say I, and this is your AND operator, and I is divisible by 2 equals to 0. If such kind of condition is there, then only print condition is met over here. Right? So this is an AND operator. With the help of AND operator, we are going to make sure that these two conditions should met, then only this should happen, right? When if I is equal to 2, and if I divided by 2, I mean the remainder comes to 0, then only it should met, right? Else else you can say condition not met. So this is how these basic conditions we can make use of over here, and it's pretty simple. See, condition not met, right? So based upon the conditions, these values are getting printed upon. So I hope we are able to understand the basic concept, when to use for loop and when to use while loop. Okay. So thank you. We'll be coming back with a new session very soon. Thank you. Thanks a lot.